In this TradeRepublic tutorial, I'll show you how to use the app to buy and sell assets on TradeRepublic, and also a few important sections that you will need on your investing journey. Hello finance people, my name is Robert and I'm here to share with you my learnings and experiences about personal finance as a European. So once you've installed TradeRepublic app and gone through the sign up process with all the approvals and so on, you land on this page right here. If you haven't signed up yet, I would appreciate you would use my link. It's in the video description. This way you also support this channel. So probably one of the first things you want to do here is to add some money. You just need to tap on transfer in the bottom right and then click on add. You get the selection of payment method. In this case, you can use credit card, Apple Pay, or bank transfer. Credit card and Apple Pay is free for first time, and bank transfer is always free. So that's something to keep in mind. Credit card and Apple Pay is definitely much quicker, and a bank transfer you would need to wait for a bit of time. I think it's 2 to 3 days, but this depends a little bit on where you are in Europe. Actually, TradeRepublic is a bank, or behind it is a bank. So you actually get a German bank account. You can see it here. I have a IBAN number, and this is where I can send them money. What's important here, and they also kind of trying to remind you in this box, that you need to have the same name in both the name you sign up to TradeRepublic and your bank account name. So they will check that those match. Maybe they don't need to exactly match. So for example, if you don't have your second name in your bank, then maybe they're gonna pass it, but this has to match, otherwise you won't be able to send money to TradeRepublic. So all you have to do is go to your banking app and you just send it to this IBAN and to this name, and you even have the BIC, but in most cases, if you're in Europe, you won't need the BIC number. So you just copy those and send yourself money as you would send it to any other bank account number in Europe. Okay, so once you've done that, once you have money in, you have two parts to TradeRepublic. You have the wealth, which we are in now, and in the top left corner, you see cash. If you click on cash, this is where all your cash reserves will be. So I transferred some money here. You can see I have it here, and also it's been running here, and I've gathered some interest. Right now, the interest rate is 3.25%, but the interest rate changes anytime that the Central Bank of Europe changes their rate, so it reflects here. So for example, you see I had much higher rate in September than in November, but anyway, this is just details, and this is still a good place to keep some of your cash if you just want to have interest rate running on it. So let's go back to wealth. Why are we here? We want to invest. Just tap on browse, and then here we can search for stock. Let's say we're interested now in Tesla. Here's a Tesla stock. I can tap on Tesla, and this is the asset page. You see, this all the details will be about Tesla. So you can change from here the graph. You can see that there's been a crazy rally in the last month or so. It's been crazy because of the US elections. Then you have some information about the company, what type of open, close, and stuff like that. You have the news. Then you also have the what analysts say, should you hold it, buy it, and so on. And you have the upcoming events. For example, the next financial release is on 24th of January, and usually things happen around that time just because the investors have certain expectations for sales, and if Tesla doesn't meet those, then the stock might go down, or the opposite. If they do meet it, they might go up. And you have more information here. So the way you buy it, you just tap on buy. From here, you can choose the predefined amounts, or you can also set yourself. So here if you tap on the 3 dots here, you can choose. Let's say I want 200, and then tap on next, and you could now buy it directly. But I want to show you before we do that. Let's go back, and I tap on buy. Here you can change, instead of amounts, you could say, hey, I actually want to buy a certain amount of shares. And when you buy it this way, it's a market order. It'll just execute it immediately. So let's say if I want to buy, I don't know, 2 shares, it's going to cost me how much? You see there below the 2, there's total amount, so 600 euros for 2 shares of Tesla stock. I can also change this. Instead of shares, I could say limit order. And limit order just means that you're going to buy the stock only if it's below certain price. So let's say it's now just below 300. If I say, okay, I want to buy it, but only if it's 290 euros. So if it's 290 or below, that's when the order will get executed. So if I tap on next, and in the next, you're able to say how much you want to buy. If the price reaches 290, how many stocks you want to buy? Let's say I want to buy 5 stocks. You see, at 290, it's going to be 1,450 euros, 5 stocks. So if I want to do that, I would press on next. The next, you choose how long your order is valid. So you can choose 1 day, or 1 year. And 1 day just means the time that the exchange is open. So for example, right now it's almost 4 o'clock in Europe. That means whenever the German exchange closes, which is probably 4 or 5 or 4:30, that's how long it will be open. But if you choose a year, that just means it's going to be open for a year. So if I tap on that, you have this summary page, and now if I create it, it'll add it to my orders. Now, unless the price dips to 290, it will not buy it. You can see this is again the asset page. You have Tesla here and limit buy. You can see that the current price is 297 and I want to buy it for 290. Unless it dips to 290, it's not going to get executed. That's how limit order works. So I don't want to actually this order, so I'm just going to tap on it and I can cancel it here, delete. Let's delete this order. Okay, perfect. By the way, I've started a newsletter where I share my thoughts about investing and personal finance from a European perspective. For example, in the last few editions, I dove into whether you should invest in euros or dollars when buying a US stock. If you want to receive the weekly newsletter, just sign up. The link will be in the video description. Now, I want to show you the other types of orders. So you have here shares. So you can see that you also have the option to stop order, which basically means buy shares after the share price reaches a set price. So you buy it only if it reaches, let's say, $100 and more. But if you're a long-term investor, you're not going to use this because you usually want to buy for a low price and then sell it for high. In this case, it doesn't work. But stop order is really useful when you're selling the stock. And I'll show you in a second why it is useful. And then you can also add this stock as a savings plan, which just means it's gonna reinvest that money every month. So for savings, I would say, let's say I want to invest 250 next. And now you can set how often do you want to invest 250. Let's say it's every month. And beginning of the month, you see here, 2nd of December, that's when I want to set this. And I want to use my cash available, or I could also connect to my bank account so it takes the money automatically from there. So let's say if I choose that one, that's how it's gonna do it. It's gonna directly take it from my bank account and just every month invest 250 euros into Tesla stock. Now, maybe recurring investments into Tesla is not the best idea because it's so volatile, and you can use recurring investments more on ETFs, something more long-term, like an ETF that follows S&P 500. Okay, so if I wanted, I could now save this, but I'm not gonna do it because this is just to show you. And just keep in mind with all of this is that you're always limited by the opening hours of this exchange in Germany. So you need to check when they're open. It's the one in Hamburg. If it's open from 9 till 4:30 CET, that means if you buy the stock in the evening and you're in Europe, then that means you're not going to get that stock only the next day whenever it opens. So that's something to keep in mind. So let me just quickly buy this Aegon stock just so that I can show you how to also sell it. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to buy one share here, one share for 6.20. I'm going to pay €1 in fees, but just to show you, I want to do this. So let's buy it. So there you go. I bought it as a market order, so it's going to get executed almost immediately. Do you find this video helpful so far? Give it a thumbs up so I know you like this type of videos. So if I go back here, you can see that I have now investments, and here you go. I have the Aegon that I just bought. So if I tap on that, this is again the asset page. Here you have your position. That's a new thing. So you can see this is how much I own. This is what I bought it at. And I'm right now €1 in loss because, I mean, there was the fee. So I had to pay the fee. And that means because I bought just one stock, it's already 13% down, which doesn't look good. But obviously, this is just to show you how it works. Now, you can also set price alerts here on the asset page. I didn't say that before, but what I want to show you, what if you want to sell this stock? What do you do then? Well, in that case, you just tap on trade again, and now you have option to sell it. And in this case, I want to sell 100% of it. And it's just one stock, but I want to sell all of it. Let's say even if I had thousands of them, I want to just sell all of them. Now I can say either an amount, I want to sell all 100% of it. I can say how many shares I want to sell, or I can set a limit order or stop loss order. Now, limit order, again, if you're a long-term investor, you're not going to use it because you're basically saying sell the shares when the share price reaches a set price or higher. higher. So you're basically waiting for the to hit some peak and then you sell it. But usually if it hits the peak, you probably want to stay for the ride for longer. But what instead you want to do is set a stop loss. So stop loss, it basically protects you if the suddenly the price drops a lot. So here I can tap on stop and I could say, hey, if the price, it's now 6.19, if this price drops, let's say to 5.50, I want to get out of this order. So I could say now, okay, I want to share, just sell one share. And if I say next, and then I say 1 year and I create it, now this order will be there for a year. And at any point, if that stock drops to 5.5 euros, you'll just exit. You protect yourself so you don't lose too much money on one trade. With this though, with stop losses, you have to be a bit careful because I have few instances where I set it too low and what the stock did, it was going up, then it had huge drop and then I basically sold it at the bottom and then it jumped back up and it rebounded. So this happened to me like a couple months ago with Amazon and I didn't even know it for a couple months that this happened. So be careful when you're setting this, you need to remember that this could happen. But if you look at the TradeRepublic, you see your orders here and you have the egg on there and basically now it will sit there for a year until it actually hits that threshold. Now, before I can actually sell it, I need to actually view the order and I need to delete this order before I can sell it because I already have a sell order. So you can have one at a time. So let's do it again. So I deleted that one. I have the position. I tap on trade, tap on sell. I'm going to just say I want to sell it shares. I'm going to say just 100% next. And now it's saying I'm going to sell this stock. I'm going to pay again the fee and I'm going to get back 5.18. So let's do that. There you go. Sell order placed. It's a market order. It'll be very quick. If I go back, you see here, I don't have my investments anymore. So it disappeared. And now the stock has been sold. A few things you can do here in the dashboard. First of all, if you just go to the top, you see that you see your initial here in the top left corner. If you tap on that, you can see that you have here your information. You have things like you can refer your friend. You have your net worth here. This is like a mini portfolio. And then you have your account details. And there later, there's also settings and stuff like that. So if you need that, you can come here. And then in the dashboard, the interesting part here is you can follow different stocks or ETFs. So for example, if I tap on the favorites, I can now add a favorite here. So let's say I want to also follow NVIDIA and I can choose it from here. And then instead of tapping on save or buy, I just tap on follow in the top right corner. So if I tap on it and I go back, now you can see that it's in my favorites. NVIDIA just appears there right now. And this is just your favorites or watch list, whatever you want to call it. Now, I've been investing for the last 7 years and there are a few mistakes that I really wish I hadn't made. Without them, my portfolio probably would be double the size. That's why I created this video right here so you can avoid losing time and money by making the same mistakes I did.